You've seen the title, breaking news at this hour as the United Kingdom heads to bed. It looks like Vince McMahon is returning to the boardroom. What's going on, Adam?
Absolutely. I almost said unbelievable. It's the most believable thing that we've possibly ever covered. Vince McMahon looking like he's going to be returning to WWE with some very interesting ramifications. Vince McMahon, according to the Wall Street Journal, looks to be coming back. He's penned a letter saying WWE is entering a critical juncture in its history with the upcoming media rights negotiations coinciding with increased industry-wide demand for quality content and live events, and with more companies seeking to own the intellectual property on their platforms. The only way for WWE to fully capitalize on this opportunity is for me to return as executive chairman and support the management team in the negotiations for our media rights, and to combine that with a review of strategic alternatives. My return will allow WWE, as well as any transactional counterparties, to engage in these processes, knowing that they will have support of the controlling shareholder. So a lot of words there, and some of that is pretty open to interpretation. So it could be to do with specifically media rights, the rights to Raw, SmackDown, all that stuff, but also the way that it's worded. And the Wall Street Journal report certainly suggests that the sale of WWE is very much on the table.
This is something that has been speculated for many years, the sale of WWE. The return of Vince McMahon has been speculated for many months. He stepped away from the company amid a plethora of allegations his way. He has since spoken out and said that he had received bad advice to leave, and he's looking to right that wrong now. Upon reading that letter, the board responded to Vince McMahon, according to the Wall Street Journal, asking him to confirm his commitment to repay expenses incurred by WWE related to the investigation of allegations. He requested also that he agree not to return to the company during government probes of the matter. So the board have said, please get your affairs in order before you do anything else. Vince McMahon responded to this, according to the Wall Street Journal, saying that he would not support or approve any media rights deal or sale if he was not involved from the outset. This is a real power play from Vince McMahon, who has said, either you let me back in now, or as a majority shareholder, I ain't going to give the nod to anything you do with the media rights.
That's totally it, right? It's to do with like the fact that he's not on the board. It's not irrelevant, but he holds all the cards. He holds all the cards, and yeah, he has controlling share of the company. So essentially, he can still sort of basically do what he wants. It looks like this is going to be happening, and I would expect maybe even by the time this video goes up, WWE will be announcing something very, very, very soon. I when I saw this, Tom, my heart actually sank. Like, this is ultimately, we're wrestling fans, and the most important thing is the on-screen product. I think that the on-screen product, and I would say that a lot of fans would hopefully agree with this, has been significantly stronger. There are various creative changes. There are various strategic changes with regards to, hey, fewer pay-per-views. They feel more special now. It feels like fans are actually being listened to now, and I fully expect Vince McMahon to meddle in everybody's affairs, because if he gets back in that exec chair position, or if he gets in that exec chair position, he has the right to do that, and I expect that to happen. And I'm gutted, because I think the TV programs are going to get worse, and I'm really enjoying WWE right now.
There is a fear that that would happen should Vince McMahon strong-arm his way back into the boardroom. It also, away from the in-ring product, it asks some questions about the rest of the wider company here. Like, where does Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan sit in all this? When Vince McMahon departed, they took his place as co-CEOs, and they've been running the business side of things for quite some time. Nick Khan, who we've talked about for a long time on this channel, is one of these guys who has worked his way through the ranks of the company company. We thought he would be the man that would topple Vince McMahon, sort of Mortal Kombat style at the end of it all. But instead, he kind of assumed power in a very legitimate way alongside Stephanie McMahon. And it looks like even he could be potentially usurped in all of this by the storming return of Vince McMahon. So this goes, as much as we are passionate about the on-screen product, it goes much, much deeper than that.
Oh, yeah.
And then it comes back to, as we talked about there, reading between some of the lines on this, some of the phrases that have been used. I think now more than ever, it feels like this is the year that WWE gets sold on. If Vince McMahon gets his way, we could see WWE moving to, hypothetically, NBC's streaming platform and be owned by Universal full time, whilst on Peacock, we could see WWE on Disney.
Disney,
by
Amazon.
the end of the year.
There
What
are
a time.
so many. Netflix are looking to invest in sports more in the coming years, or sports entertainment in this case. I think the key phrase there, strategic alternatives, very much hints at the possible sale of the company. And that could happen in the not too distant future, especially with the rights to some of their TV programs expiring in a year or two's time. I honestly, it really worries me, this, and I think WWE is going to be significantly changing.
I'm going to freewheel a little bit on this, Adam. This is something that we didn't prep to start with, but there's an interesting thing that came out of the US government today, which may put a bit of a spoke in a bit of an issue in the way of Vince McMahon's return. One of the things that Vince McMahon is a big fan of when it comes to his talent is those no-compete clauses within their contracts. And according to numerous outlets today, if the United States Federal Trade Commission get their way, such a thing as a non-compete clause would no longer be allowed within business.
Massive ramifications.
That's a massive ramification for the wrestling industry, isn't it?
Yeah, so it would make it illegal for an employer to enter or attempt to enter into a non-compete with a worker, maintain a non-compete with a worker. So all the existing non-competes would become null and void. Really, I don't want to say vital, but very important things to WWE's profitability over the years. So interesting timing that looks like it might be pushed through, and then all of a sudden, panic button, Vince is coming back.
I can't help but feel that this is the equivalent of you're about to put a fox in the chicken cage, but you've just opened the cage. So if they want to get out of there, they can. It feels like we might see another seismic change in the landscape of wrestling in 2023, not dissimilar to the one that we saw.
Before we go, because this has felt very doom and gloom, and I think a lot of people will be feeling the same way who are watching this video. This
is where we end with a song.
No, looking on the bright side of life. No, is that, if a bigger company is going to be investing a significant amount of money, if they were willing to keep on the people who have improved WWE so much over the last 6 or so months, however long it is, then this could work out. This could be a new era of WWE, which increases its mainstream popularity, gets more people watching WWE again. It increases the accessibility of WWE's product. Time will tell. They might not sell. This could just be to do with the TV rights.
Who's to say that Vince McMahon doesn't come in, facilitate the rights, the sale, the positioning, the business that he plans to do, and then goes away again?
Not a chance.
No chance in hell, would you say?
I would say no chance in 50 hells. He's the fact that he's coming back. He can't say, it's his life. And also, it's worth adding, right? Even with everything that's gone on, Vince McMahon is the reason that you're a wrestling fan, that I'm a wrestling fan, that 99.9% of the people watching this video are wrestling fans. His contributions to the industry are unlike anybody else's. He's Vince McMahon, for goodness sake. I just hope it doesn't change what we've been seeing on TV, because that's us as fans. That is the most important thing. I think it will.
I, for one, welcome our Omos undisputed WWE title reign. No, of course, I am being silly. Yes, there is lots to dissect on this. And of course, when we know more about it, there'll no doubt be news when we wake up tomorrow morning here in the UK. We will let you know more via cultaholic.com. Our top story, our only story tonight. Once more.
Also, Matt Riddle might be back soon as well.
We did that on Tuesday. What are you talking about? Our only story tonight, Vince McMahon making a power play, possibly returning to the boardroom of WWE. More details when we get it at cultaholic.com. Stay safe.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.